Hi. In the next 12 to 15 minutes, I'm going to introduce you to a dynamic, new, explosive concept that's going to help you lower the cost of running your business. You see, we have found that the most expensive employee in most companies is the sales manager. That's due to the fact that so many companies promote their best sales rep to sales management. They do this without any concern of the new skills that need to be learned to become an effective manager. You see, I believe that the skills required to be a good sales rep don't translate into the skills needed to be a good sales manager. Consequently, many sales managers get the position and then they're flying by the seat of their pants. My name's Gil Cargill, and I bring to this sales acceleration program almost 4 decades now of working with over 5,000 business-to-business sales forces. I've created a 2-day program where I'm going to teach your managers how to build and deploy more effective selling processes. I've learned that when the managers change the process, the top line grows on average by 36%. This is a much better return on your training investment than you'd ever get by training salespeople. My approach to accelerating sales has landed me on the cover of many magazines, and it's garnered many honors for me. This program is so effective that I offer it on a money-back guarantee. If you don't sell more as a result of implementing my concepts, I will refund the entire tuition with no questions asked. I believe that this works because, as I said a moment ago, so few sales managers have formal sales management training. Candidly, I blame this problem on our higher level universities and colleges. There are very few 4-year programs to teach young people how to be effective sales managers. As I said before, this forces new managers to fly by the seat of their pants. Worse, the processes that are in place measures the dollars created by the sales team, not the activities and accountability needed to produce those dollars. Without metrics, you can't control the outcome. So some questions that senior management, owners, CEOs, presidents, and stakeholders should ask of every sales manager is, can you do this job? The second question is, will you do my job? But the most important question is, will you be the kind of manager I want you to be? You see, the selection criteria are flawed, and as a result, many companies select, hire, or promote the wrong person. Frequently, the best salesperson wins the job of the best manager. There's no correlation between the skills. This is analogous to United Airlines promoting their best mechanic to the position of pilot. It takes a lot more than a changing of the uniform to become a proficient pilot. The skills are different. The same applies to the transition from sales to sales management. If you're hiring a sales manager, I frequently find that the best resume wins the job. But Dunhill research tells us that 94% of the resumes circulating today contain significant falsehoods. Worse, we hire the man or woman that gives you the best interview. Now listen to this very carefully. The better they are at interviewing, the worse they are at managing. You see, they've been fired so often, they've gotten very good at interviewing. Sometimes managers are the owners and stakeholders, and they're running the show because there's no one else to do it, and that makes them a very tired owner. I believe you need to participate in this program or send your sales managers to this program if you don't have a sales process playbook. That's a book that describes in a quantitative and qualitative fashion how you want your team to perform. If your sales team is underperforming, you need to attend one of my workshops that will occur throughout the country in the balance of this year. If your margins are shrinking, if you're missing forecasts, if you're hearing excuses instead of success stories, you need this program. If attrition of employees or customers is higher than you'd like it to be, you desperately need this program. And last but certainly not least, if this is your impression of the typical salesperson that's working for you, you need to become a better manager and or send your managers to my program. The facts are the average new sales manager keeps his or her job for only 18 months. That's because management is expecting miraculous improvements in revenue when they put a new manager in place. But as you'll learn in my workshop, management and management skills are part of the issue. How about the compensation that the sales reps are working under? Let's take a look at how the sales reps were hired, how they've been trained, how they've been coached. If you have a bad sales force, a new manager has a long road to hoe in order to become a good sales team. Now, sales training is an $11 billion industry, but I believe a lot of emphasis has been paid to training salespeople. But the managers that make hiring mistakes cost the company $600,000, according to the Wall Street Journal. Productivity actually dropped in the year that they measured and calculated that $11 billion expenditure on sales training. So clearly, we were training the wrong people. We don't spend much time training managers, and managers rarely reinforce sales skills training. That's because a manager is not aware of the importance of this reinforcement. As a result, the lifespan of the average sales training engagement is 5.3 weeks. So if you want to sell more, don't train your salespeople, train your managers to coach, manage, and train in turn your salespeople. We have to get managers involved to drive the company's top and bottom lines. And the sales managers aren't coaching. Now, when you attend my workshop, you will learn that the manager's primary job is to make sure that the maximum number of opportunities are at this intersection when the timing is right. Now, the traditional deployment of salespeople requires the salesperson to get the customers to this intersection. I believe that sales is a team sport, and everyone employed by your company needs to have a role in accelerating the acquisition of revenue. To put it in a phrase, I want to show your team my process to get in touch and stay in touch with all decision makers and influencers in all of your accounts all of the time. Now, I'm not being repetitiously redundant, but when a manager completes my core program, he or she will be able to implement processes that have consistently helped my clients grow their top line by 36%. Up until now, most management training has focused on being a cheerleader, being a motivator, having good cliches and good sayings. But cheerleading is not coaching, and permanent measurable improvements in your top line will only occur as a result of consistent coaching. Now, back in the day when these gentlemen were selling telephones, they didn't need a manager. That's because all they had to do was show up. They were selling against no competition. So if you have no competition, you can turn my presentation off. If you have competition and you want to learn how to beat them and beat them soundly while driving your top and bottom lines, you need to come to my program. You see, sales management is a unique position. You must be a multitasker with infinite skills. You must plan and execute campaigns. You must exceed financial goals. You have to train your team. You have to de-hire marginal performers. You have to coach people who have the potential to be a good performer to become a great performer. You must be a good leader. You must analyze your team's efforts, and you must communicate and administrate what's going on in your business. You see, it's all about the funnel, and a manager must have a visibility on the funnel and understand the important conversion ratios from the top of the funnel to each step within the funnel. Without the playbook that I mentioned a while ago, understanding what's going on in the funnel is virtually impossible. Consequently, untrained managers know they have to fill the funnel, but they don't really know what's going on inside of the funnel. So as a result, the return on investment is lower than it could be. Yes, customers are coming out the bottom of the funnel, but how many customer opportunities are leaking out somewhere between the top and the bottom? Without a playbook, you can't tell. And without that playbook, this intersection will become very elusive and hard for your team to get to. You can't sell anybody anything unless they trust you, and whether they trust you or not, if the timing's bad, once again, you can't sell them. So we have to have a management process that will get your team to that intersection consistently. The mistakes that I see with over 5,000 business-to-business sales forces is managers are selected based on the resume or sales success. The number one mistake, and we correct this in my program, is that companies do not have a playbook. Companies tend to measure revenue only, and we don't hold the team accountable for the quantity nor the quality of activities that contribute to the revenue. Without knowing the relationship between activities and dollars, management is forced to always make decisions based on lagging indicators. And there is no other position in a business where lagging indicators are acceptable. Poor management allows the marketing footprint to be too small. As a result, the team doesn't compete for enough decisions often enough. Bad behavior is frequently tolerated based on excuses. A lack of activity metrics creates a phenomenon where showing up is okay, and I'm being a little bit facetious and perhaps cynical, but not too much so. And the net result of all of this is owners are overpaying for underperformance. As I mentioned a minute ago, an untrained manager will hire someone because he or she likes them. That, according to the Wall Street Journal, is a $600,000 risk. I want to hire people I like, but more importantly, I want to hire people that I know can and will do the job the way I want them to. They aren't testing, they aren't utilizing any pre-employment evaluations, and because there's an empty territory or an empty seat, we tend to rush to get the people to do what we want them to do and come on board. A classic mistake of the small entrepreneur is he or she tries to hire what I refer to as a mini-me. In other words, they think they see themselves in this new or prospective employee. The biggest mistake that is made after people have been hired is there's no onboarding or transition plan. You'll learn how to develop and deploy transition plans which dramatically improve your chances of success. Attend my workshop and you'll eliminate the risk associated with poor sales management. My program is designed to provide you with the peace of mind regarding your success. It will provide all managers with a foundation for predictable and profitable success. Managers will learn best practices for recruiting, hiring, selecting, training, coaching, and dehiring from time to time, managing the marginal performer, developing and deploying good, productive compensation plans, how to build a business development department to offload the prospecting of sales activities. You'll learn how to create a sustainable competitive advantage, and your top and bottom lines will improve. Cost will go down, peace of mind will go up. The program requires 2 days, and we're conducting it in cities around the country. You'll learn 21st century marketing and prospecting techniques. You'll learn how to diagnose your current process. That's right, all companies have a process. Whether it's written down or not, it exists. Is it effective? Are you hitting all of the right notes at the right time? Again, we will develop a playbook together, a book that allows you to manage based on the numbers, not based on gut feel, not based on excuses. You'll learn how to deploy this process, and part of our program is ongoing coaching after the 2-day workshop. So we make sure that the concepts that are discussed in the workshop are actually applied. You'll learn how to manage those marginal performers, how to hire superstars, and how to build a sales plan. And most importantly, you'll learn a curriculum that I call the new math of sales excellence. When you control the 5 metrics that are on your screen, you are on your way to a measurable, predictable improvement in your top line. You'll learn how to control and quantify the number of first meetings needed by your sales team, how to shorten the sales cycle so each salesperson can close more new business per quarter or per year. You'll learn how to increase your selling prices by as little as 5% and what impact that makes on your bottom line. You'll learn how to give your team more selling time and how to convert at a better ratio. My money-back guarantee is simplicity in and of itself. Attend the workshop, work through the implementation, work with your coach, that would be me, for 6 months. If you're not selling more at the end of 6 months, or if you're not confident that you're on the way to selling more, put it in writing and I will refund your entire tuition. So as we say here in Hollywood, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. You can reach me at 310-447-4102 or send me an email at gil, G-I-L, at gilcargill.com. At the end of the day, you can also follow through by going to my website, and that's www.gilcargill.com. Thank you very much for attending, and I wish you good luck and good selling.